Yeah! Got him! Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Vertigo Duel. Today we've got Mikhail Filitov playing 119Y, which recently received some buffs and is actually a pretty decent division now, but with some shortcomings. And he's going up against DkNosferatu, who's playing 56Y, which is absolutely broken. It had a couple nerfs. It's still absolutely broken. It's absolutely cracktive. Anyway, let's go through the deck reviews where I'll explain to you in great detail why it's absolutely broken. And then once that's done, we'll talk about the map and the matchup. Then we'll talk about the game. The deployment, sorry. Then we'll talk about the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so this is the deck review for Mikhail Filitov, who's playing 119Y, which is actually a pretty decent division now. I don't know about OP, but it's decent. And yeah, we'll go into it tab by tab. So this div, there aren't really too many ways to build it. Essentially, in fact, it's probably better if we just look at it while I talk about this. It's got heavy tanks, right? And basically, you need to get out the early game stuff, which is the TO55s and the recon stuff, and they now get Razvedka BMP2s, and they get more availability on the TO55s. That's what the changes were, and that's what makes them so good. And then you slowly build up, slowly build up. You know, get all the infantry out, and then you start buying the T80UDs and the T80Us, and you just spend the whole game just like trading with those, and then you push in like the last 5-10 minutes and try and win. So it's very much an attrition deck, and it's very difficult. People find it very, very hard to deal with because they've got a really good early game. In that they've got the Spetsnaz and the OP Spetsnaz, and now the Razvedka BMP2. They also have 6 of the best fighters in the game, one of the best bombers in the game, one of the best seed in the game. So yeah, they've got a really decent early game, and then late game they're absolutely cracked because of the T80Us. The idea is if you lose these T80Us and UDs, then the division's basically useless, right? So you need to make sure that you keep these alive, and for the enemy, you need to make sure you kill him, and you just try and kill as many of his planes as possible. Usually they have 6. And then you can start using air, because what they'll try and do basically is use the T80U to bait you over their Tunguskas, their AA, you know, their AA and their A, and then kill your bomber. And then once you've run out of bombers, you basically can't kill these. So yeah, just something to keep in mind for both sides there. So first tab, 3 cards of supply. It makes a lot of sense because you're going to be spending most of your time healing up your tanks and shooting your artillery. It's just a very grindy deck. It goes into the late game. You want to keep your infantry alive and heal them up as much as possible because you don't get that much of it. In the Imp tab, we got some Spetsnaz here. And yeah, so 4 men with RPOs. Really strong early game squad because of the forward deployment. Special Forces, really, really strong anti-infantry squad, and then you say, oh, they don't have an AT, it's alright, they get Spetsnaz OP, who bring the AT, and this is a really good AT squad. Can't stand up by itself against infantry, because they've only got 4 men. Special Forces go faster than regular infantry, by the way, and you'll tend to have, after a fight, you'll tend to have higher cohesion than him, so you can just run away. And yeah, really good AT, so you put this with that. Saperi RPO are strong. I do like him actually, so he's got him at no vet, which makes sense because basically the RPO just fires all its shots and then runs off. Like, it shouldn't be tanking in the fight, whereas like these guys are the guys you want tanking in the fight basically, and these guys are the guys you want tanking in the fight. So yeah, he's brought these at 1 vet and these at no vet. And you might say, well, he's only got 5 cards of infantry. He doesn't, because with all of these, I don't have much infantry decks. They've also always got a really nice recon tab with a bunch of recon infantry, so here it is, right? Anyway, we're skipping tabs here. Arty tab, so the burrito... I've heard really good things about the burrito now. So basically, I've done deck reviews on 119Y relatively recently, but since the patch, the burrito was turned to thermobaric, which means it does a lot more damage now. And now, I think in 1v1, so there's one guy who just plays 119Y, it's literally all he does. And he managed to get all the way to rank 1 with it. Then he was like, generally hovered around rank 3 for a bit. In fact, we can just check it now. There he is, rank 3. And yeah, he just plays 119Y. And He just does the same thing every time. I've not played it in a while, so don't look at that. There we go. And he was telling me that now he actually thinks the burrito's not bad. Maybe it's just cope or something, but the idea is you split the volleys, right? And you make sure there's a CV next to it, so it's got less reload time, so it'll be like 4 minutes instead of 5 minutes. And yeah, you just use it to clear out infantry and stuff, something like 2 lakes. Because you can't really win an infantry grind on something like 2 lakes, right? So you bring up the burrito and you just smack them with that. And now that it's thermobaric, it does a lot more damage. So you could down vet this and have this, but it's completely fine to just have 2 of these. I prefer just having 2. I've seen people bring 4. If you buy 4, surely something bad has happened to you during the game, because that's 500, 580 points. 290 times 2, 580, quick maths. 580 points of expenditure just on artillery, which is, it's just over 2 minutes income. Which actually, might not actually be so bad. But no, I think it's best to just bring 2 up vetted them and just make sure they don't die. Generally, if you bring in 4 artillery, something's gone wrong in a 1v1. In team, you probably want all 4. But yeah, it can be worth just bringing 2 down vetted and trying out the burrito, because you've got 3 cards of supply. And just try it out. I mean, you might not like it. I've not used it myself that much since the change. I used it once, like, in a testing scenario, as in, like, not in a game. But yeah, it's up to you. But yeah, it's worth trying. Don't bring the Vasilek. Don't bring the Gwozdika. People bring the Gwozdika so they can, like, smoke. But it's really bad for that, to tell you the truth. The Mr. B just does it. It's harder to micro. And this will actually hurt people as well. But yeah, it's harder to micro. It's also cheaper. Tank tab. So basically, these are the core of your army. He's brought them at 2 vet. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't play this div that much. But do you really find that you can get away with only having 4 of these in a 40-minute game? Maybe you do. Maybe you do. But I'd be tempted to bring 6, because if you lose, right, if you've got 4, right, and you lose 2 to a bomber, to bombers, then you've lost the game. Whereas if you've got 6 and you lose 2 to bombers, then you've got a chance, right? You could lose 3 to bombers, maybe, who knows. So I'd be tempted to bring them at 1 vet, really, but I mean, we'll see in the game. The difference between these 2, right, is that the TATUD has more letters, so it's better. Basically, it's very slightly slower, but it's got 2 more armor, and you might think, does it matter? Yes, the 2 more armor means that it can survive 2 30 AP missiles. And that means every anti-tank plane in the game, bar 2, which you'll never see, those are the Magister on 152 easy, and the T8M on 27Y. They are 30 AP missiles. So the fact that the T8UD can survive 2 from the front is very important, because usually they shoot 2 at you. So it is important, but it's a little bit slower. Generally, the advantage of the T8U is that it basically is coming at 2 vet. So, it's got the higher accuracy, it's got the higher fire rate, because it is coming at 2 vet for the same availability. But once you get into this like high points range, 20 points doesn't really make a difference anymore, because you're not buying that many of them. So, that's 40 points across the whole deck in difference between these 2 and these 2, do you know what I mean? Or 80 if you bring them at 1 vet. I would be bringing them at 1 vet. It just depends how super cool you think you are. Maybe better at microing than me. I know I'm not. I look away, I look back, it's not there anymore. So T80 BVK. So basically you still have like medium game tanks, medium game time tanks in the form of command tanks. So you'll see that there's 3 CV cards here, which is good. 6 CVs is, I would honestly say, like, you could very, very rarely get away with 5. I think 6 is a comfortable minimum. Or 6 is the ideal number for me. It's just the way I play. I play very fast and loose, so if you play very slow, you could get away with fewer, but I've beaten people who, thought they were really cool, and I killed all their CVs. And then, like, they they like played out the rest of the game, and he was like spawn camping me and getting annoyed with me, and I knew that he couldn't win, so I ended up drawing with him because he just couldn't get the he didn't have any CVs left, so he couldn't get any tick, even though he owned the whole map. He literally just had a line of guys in front of my spawn. I thought it was really funny. I'll link that one in the description if I remember. It's a members exclusive game though, so we'll shill later. Anyway, TO55's had their availability curve go up. It was 842 and now it's 964. So yeah, they're really good. Sorry, somebody just called me Yapler in the Eugen Discord. I'll just edit this part out. I just need to emoji react with a laughing face. And there we go. We've got that laughing face there. And yeah, so now, so before it would have been two, 4 at 1 vet, and now it's 4 at 2 vet. So if you were playing it before, then it can make sense to bring it at 2 vet because you'll get the same number as you're used to, and they'll just be better. And to be honest, you don't need, like, 8 is plenty. You probably don't want to be buying 12 of these anyway, because by then you want to be swapping into this and then into these. So 8 is probably plenty, and so I can see why he's brought that 2 vet. BDRM2 Conkers I like a lot because you can sneak it around and snipe people. I really need to cast this game. I played against Skate. I was KDA, and he just spent the whole game going around with these BRDM2 Conkers and this thing, which we'll get to. Yeah, oh, that was really annoying. I really need to go back and cast it, but it was on the previous patch, but loads of people have said they wanted to see it, so I'll get to it eventually. Recon tab, so this is like where the magic happens. Oh no, I don't have enough infantry. Well, here's 3 more cards of infantry for you, and you should be bringing all 3. So Spetsnaz Gru in the Gaz, this is your airborne forward deployment ground surveillance radar with AT, so this complements the Spetsnaz and the Spetsnaz OP to give you a really strong front line at the start. These guys, he's got at Nova. I'll be honest, so I've done a deck review on 119Y recently, and I think he's based a lot of this on that, and so there is some repetition here, and if I'm missing things, it's just because, sorry, I don't understand what's wrong with me. I've got, like, nose eczema? Like, what's up with me? Anyway, there's something wrong with those aviators. I don't know if you can see that on your mobile phone, but he's got, like, droopy aviators. Something wrong with mine as well. They don't work properly. It's supposed to be prescription sunglasses, right? I bought them for a trip to Saudi Arabia, and they just didn't turn green. I was like, well, what's going on? I looked it up. If it gets too hot, they don't work properly. It was 55 degrees Celsius. And then I came back and I was telling this to people, and they're like, well, it worked for me when I was in Spain. Well, how hot was it? Was it 30? It was 55 degrees Celsius. And they just didn't really turn. So yeah, whatever. Just edit that part out. So yeah, you want to be bringing this on Novet because this is an absolutely cracked card. It's crazy. Like, this needs to be more expensive. These used to be 100, and people, including me, were like, that's too expensive. And then it went down to 90, and now just see them everywhere. They're a complete pain in the arse. So what I think they should do is make it have bad stealth. Just like a regular BMP too. There's nothing different about it, right? And then there you go, problem solved. And then you could make it 80. The main problem is the stealth. It makes it very difficult to see it. Anyway, yeah, you want that at Novet so you can bring as many as possible. So you can bring as many as humanly possible. Because they're just so good. And this is like your mid-game now. And your early game. This card will carry you to the late game when you start getting these tanks. And that's why this div's so good now. Then Razvedka Saperi in the BTR 60PB. So these are your satchels. And this is why there's no point bringing the satchels in this tab. Like, between these two, I actually do think the RPOs are better. So Flash isn't very good, Hand Flam Patron isn't very good, but RPOs and Reese are actually really decent still, despite it having 10 points more and 2 less availability on a deck that doesn't get much infantry. They are decent. So, yeah. These guys are your satchels if you need satchels, and you bring them at 1 vet because you want them to use satchels, and it's not like you need way more recon. Then the choice is between this and that, and basically this is faster, it's got very good optics, but this has exceptional optics. It's slower, but the idea is you just press Shift F, you click it, Shift F, and click on your tank, and it'll follow around your tank, and your tank now has exceptional optics. Let's say your tank runs out of smoke and it's about to die. You pop smoke on this. And, you know, problem solved. Problem solved. So, you know, it's got 3 armor. The gun's not fantastic, but it's there. Like, this gun is better against infantry. Obviously, this is better against vehicles. And, yeah, it's just about giving your tanks optics so they can see things. So, it's between these two. I prefer this one because, and this is the argument I made in the other vid, if you want to do funny, sneaky, haha, you've got this. So, and it's got normal optics, so you can still do the sneaky, and it's got good stealth, right? So if you want to do the funny sneak around, that's what this is for. And if you want to give vision to your tanks, that's what this is for. So you don't really need this. This is, you know, sort of a different sneaky in that, you know, it's got better optics, right? And should have the same speed, yeah. But yeah, imagine hitting a guy coming in with a Conkers. That's useful, and it's got 10 Conkers, so it's really not so bad. AA tab. So the Tunguska is really decent. I mean, yeah, you don't have long range AA in this division, but you do get a lot of short range AA. And this is good. This is good. You don't need 7 of them, so I bring in 5. And this is good. So yeah, it's all good. You see some people bringing 2 Tunguskas. I really do think you need 3 cards of AA, so I think this is good. This is good. Did I say that already? This is good. Helicopters. So the Escortini is not good. This is okay, but basically he's gone for the top of the line helo, so for 170 you get the Jusk, which is really good, but it's not on a turret. It's just like strapped to the side, so it'll take longer to shoot because it's got to turn the whole helicopter. And there'll be instances where you can't shoot people in forests and stuff like that because it can't tilt the whole helicopter without, you know, face planting into the ground or whatever. And yeah, it's got Kokons. It's got rockets. It's got 80 rockets, right? It's got the same rockets as this. So it is decent. I mean, these are good, but for 20 points more. Well, for 20 points more, you lose 4 Kokons, but you get a better gun, and you get 10% ECM. And so, I mean, you only get 2 helicopters in this, so there might as well be good ones. I mean, there's not really much to it. I think I bring the cheaper ones because I'm just a very unlucky person. And I don't notice this at all. Air tab, so yeah, you need at least 6 fighters. The Su-27S is absolutely crazy. This outranges every NATO plane. This is the best short-range missile in the game. This is the best long-range missile in the game, with the exception of the MiG-31 things. It beats an Eagle basically all the time. If they both pass each other on the wraparound, the Su-27 will kill the Eagle because it'll get its missiles off and the Eagle won't be able to shoot back. And it gets first shot advantage, and it gets more missiles. I mean, it's just better and it costs less. So yeah, these are crazy. The MiG-29 is basically the best fighter in the game. Just in terms of like how prevalent this one is, this particular variant, and its cost, it's basically what I think the best fighter in the game is. So it's got the same missiles as the other one, but 10% less ECM, and I believe it turns better than this. But like this doesn't really mean anything. The air optics does. The agility is just like made up number basically. It's something else in the code that actually makes them turn, and they've got like set turn radii, which you can view on the WarYes website. They're not paying me, but yeah, you can view the turn radii on the WarYes website. That's very insightful. So yeah, it's got the best long range, best short range, right? Seed, so this thing is like a very good seed. Used to be 3 availability, sadly, but yeah, it's decent. Well, to be honest, the range on it isn't great. It's an okay seed, but he's got the seed to assist his LGBT. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can just bring 2 LGBTs, or you can bring the seed and the LGBT and try and use the seed to protect the LGBT. It just, I mean, it's whichever one you want. But yeah, these slots start getting really expensive, and you need all your infantry. And like, look, this is 3 points, this is 3 points, and you know, you need recon and stuff. So yeah, that's the deck review for 119Y. Switching to his opponent, he's playing absolutely broken 56 white. Can you believe the cheek of it? I had somebody tell me that this deck is balanced now because the cluster mortar got nerfed. It didn't really get nerfed. I mean, it takes longer to land, so it is a nerf. But it does the same damage. If anything, it seems to do... Well, I don't know if it does more. But it's like harder to see the shells when they explode. Absolutely bonkers, div. Anyway, so 3 cards CV. I'm going to speedrun through this because I'm angry already. 3 cards, 3 CV, yeah, you can get this for 20 points more, and it's got armor on it. I actually recommend this. Because this will explode to 1 howitzer round from, like, those Mr. Bs. I haven't seen the game yet. Hopefully it happens so I can say, look, I was right. I do it in the same order as you, more or less. I mean, the deployment I will do after I've done the deck reviews, even though... No, hang on, because the way... The introduction I'll do after I've done the deck reviews. But yeah, obviously the deployment you see after this anyway. Because you don't skip anything. And yeah, so I'd recommend this for 20 points more. I think it's much better. And, it's even faster. It's got Amphibious, which doesn't really matter, but with Mount River in rotation and Chemical Duel, it can actually make a difference. So 2 cards of supply. I don't really like this for 1v1. Because it lands and then somebody blows it up with a howitzer. Much more tempted to just have 2 cards of these. Oh, no, hang on. You just get this one. Because it's the same supply, right? All supply cards now have 6,000 supply. It used to be different, like, a year ago, but they changed them all, so they've all got 6,000 supply now. But yeah, if you look at this, a helicopter's faster. It will get there faster, but the truck is, like, stealthier, so I prefer the truck rather than this very expensive helicopter. But if you're in a team game, you'd want this, really, because the maps are bigger. Inf tab, so... Got CV here, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs. Yep, very normal, very normal. I mean, everybody plays this div now, so the decks are all the same. And it's probably my fault, actually. I keep doing deck reviews. So let's tell everybody the wrong thing, so they build it wrong. That would be a good idea. So yeah, 60 points with smoke for the CV, 2 availability. Your other options are 40 points with no smoke. So that's not as good. This is the one we're looking at. So you might as well pay 20 points extra to get the smoke, obviously, and the extra strength, like 7 guys. 20 points, it's very much worth it. Then you've got 30mm grenade launcher, meta squad in the grenade launcher. So somebody told me, because I said on the Spanish devlog, which is on the channel, right, the new Spanish division, I said there's no wheeled stuff in the game with grenade launchers, like no wheeled BTR types with grenade launchers, but yeah, 56 wide does get it, so thanks to the 2 people who pointed that out. Afghansky are absolutely cracked. Just bring them at max vet, and basically what you do is you put this squad with a squad with AT, like these guys, or whatever. You can use these guys if you want. And you just put them together, and the Afghansky kills all the infantry in the universe, and this kills all the vehicles, or at least, you know, this kills all the vehicles. So why are they so OP? What's going on? I've said this so many times. The DMR is like 2 machine guns, so that's like 4 machine guns, and that means they're fighting with the strength. And 4 machine guns is like 8 rifles, so they're fighting with the strength of 13 men just off the small arms. And then they've got an RPO, which is really good, and they're at max vet, and they're resolute. So it's a really good anti-infantry squad. They didn't used to have 4 weapons, but they did, and then I don't think the price went up, so really good now. Then you've got the Okranas, so I used to bring them in the trucks just so you could spam these guys, so it's like 10 men, just like meat, basically. But the Melter, so you got Orcs in the Melter, so Warhammer 40k vehicle here, and this is really good because these rockets deal like pure damage to buildings, which isn't written anywhere in the game. So just got to remember that. So it ignores building cover. Rockets ignore building and forest cover, which is why they're really good against units and buildings, because it's as if they're stood in the open and they're not moving. And the main thing with the rockets is they always miss if people are moving. So yeah, it's actually a really decent unit. You just sort of blob it up and then send them all out at once. Then, yeah, so he's got more rockets, more rocket helos, and like these are 14 men. It's absolutely cracked squad, 14 men. So, you know, they shoot with the strength of 16 men, because this is like 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. Really good squad. I mean, they are expensive. So he's brought some in the Hilo, and then he's brought some on the ground. That makes a lot of sense. Then he's only got 2 cards of BMD2s here, which is actually quite surprising. Usually people bring more. So, like, I'd say that you probably don't need this. Although, actually, it is good. But yeah, what do you get rid of? What do you get rid of? Maybe the CV, but then you don't have enough CVs. So yeah, you do have to make some choices in this div. So he's only got 14 BMD2s. I think he'll be okay. RT tab, this is the longest range mortar. For some reason, you know, obviously this is technically a mortar, right? But this outranges all other 81, 82mm mortars, and it outranges 120mm mortars, including the Soviet ones. I don't understand why this has so much range. It's very, very, very strange. And when I point this out to people, they say, "Oh, it's a new mortar." Right, so it goes further than. I mean, it's just stupid. It's just not a smart argument. And because yeah, I mean, what is new about a mortar? It's a tube. What matters is the ammunition. And then this thing is still really, really strong. People seem to think it's not strong. It's still really strong. And then this is good. The problem is, right, so I believe this now is the same, because now it goes into space. It does actually make the HE one harder to use. So some people have swapped it out with the Nona, but the Nona's got terrible splash, whereas this has actually got decent splash. It's just it takes a long time for rounds to arrive, which, yeah, your div has one advantage. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? This is the strongest div in the game by a country mile, by the way. Tank tab, so everybody always brings the same 3 things. You just bring the better tanks than KDA gets. This is the best T62 spam div in the game. Your Airborne div here with its T62s. And yeah, so you just bring this one, bring this one, bring this one. You leave them all at 1 vet because they come at 1 vet by default. This is another thing with the BDV decks. They come at 1 vet by default because they're supposed to be Airborne, and Airborne's supposed to be like, woohoo. What it means is that you just get way more stuff than everybody else because most people are forced to bring their units at 1 vet because it takes about 7 minutes for a tank at no vet, or a unit at no vet full suppression to go back to high cohesion, or, you know, from 0 cohesion to high cohesion. It takes about 7 minutes. It takes 3 minutes for a 1 vet unit, so it's literally twice as good. And these guys all get 1 vet for free. Now with most Airborne divs, it doesn't matter too much because they're only bringing lighter stuff, but this is just a heavy div. But it's called Airborne. So that's part of the problem, really. Anyway, so yeah, we got those, and then we've got I'm not sure why he's bringing this, but yeah, so this is regular Razvedka with an RPG, Spetsnaz Guru Stinger with an RPG, and then get this, two cards of Razvedka BMP2. What I would say is if you're only bringing 2 cards of BMP2 here, you might want to downvet these, but and then you've only got, you know, 12 plus 14 is 28. Then you have 28 BMP2s. Half of which are recon. But yeah, okay, maybe you don't need 28. Maybe you need there's 8 plus 14 is 22. Or I could have just done 4 minus 20. It's 26, isn't it? 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 14. Yeah, it's 26. So yeah, whatever. And then this, I mean, you can just do what you want. You'll still win. It's stupid. But yeah, I don't see the point in this, really. Like, you've got enough recon infantry. What's the point in that? Have you running out of recon infantry? AA tab, so this is Iglas in the gun one. This gun's really good against infantry, so it makes sense. Then he's got Iglas in a wheeled transport, so we can get there fast. I mean, between the two of them... Sure, whatever. I would prefer these just in the car so you can sell it. But yeah, maybe you want some more fire support. It doesn't really matter. And then Strella's at 1 vet. Yeah, Strela 10M, decent AA. Hilo tab, so AA, Hilo. I used to really like these, and they're just so not good. I mean, the planes just kill them. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. These are decent, right? And then he's also got actually 5 more here. So to keep in mind, he's actually got 9 helos. 5 plus 4 is 9, quick maths. And AA tab, so fighter, 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 bomber. So this is where the 3 points come in handy. So these are really good for the price. This is a very decent missile. It's equivalent to a NATO Sparrow. These are the best short-range missile in the game. NATO's equivalent doesn't have 540 suppression. Pact has the best air force in Warno because that's how it works in real life. And yeah, they're fast. They've got 20% ECM, and ECM is just a dice roll. So yeah, he's got 6 of those. And then he's got this AT plane. This used to be 1 second reload, now it's 2.5, but it'll still shoot 2 off in one volley. It's just not both at once. In one pass it should get 2 off, but not both at once. Well, it depends on the range and so on. And it's got a decent gun to help finish off the targets, and it's got 4 A-to-A, you know, secondary missiles. And then with your last 3 spots, you can get an LGBT, and this thing's pretty cracked as well. Right? I mean, what do you want, an LGBT or 4 more grenade launchers? You probably don't need. I mean, you've got enough stuff here. So yeah, that's it for the deck reviews. I'm mad already. This is so stupid. I want them all killed. Anyway, I'll see you in the game. Right, so with that out of the way, let's talk a bit about the map. I mean, you've seen it so many times already, right? Basically, blue is on the bad side. It's the bad side because red can put a unit here which can snipe all the guys coming down this road. And he can put a unit here which snipes all the guys coming down this road, like an ATGM in the building, which incidentally red doesn't have because of the divvies playing, as you'll know from the deck review as well. And on this side, Boris. So if you lose Boris, you can fall back into this lovely forest, and losing Boris is quite difficult because there's a big mountain here that you can just put an ATGM on, or if you're feeling really zany, a tank. And you just shoot everybody as they come into rage. And very, very difficult to deal with. And yeah, this reinforcement road's a lot more protected than this one. So let's say the enemy takes this on this side. The reinforcements are basically protected. You might get them once they get to here, but on this side they can't get anywhere near you. So then you've got to come down this lane. Blue's advantage is that control over this middle zone is easier for blue because they've got this nice house here, and once they take this middle zone, they can put something here or here. And the fact that it's 2 buildings is useful, and that will cut this reinforcement road. So yeah, blue does have an easier time in middle. And then on this side, I prefer red side simply because of the way the reinforcements work. If you click over here, the units will automatically pass down this road, which means they're going to get shot by this. And this if you've lost it, but this at least is just going to shoot them all. So what you have to do is manually path them to here and then path them in, and it takes a lot longer. You can't shift click orders. You know, like when you buy something, you can tell it where to go, but you can't hold shift and tell it to queue up. This sounds about the same, really. So that's it for the map. On terms of the matchup, 56Y is cracked. But as you'll know from the deck review, so I haven't seen the game yet, right? Otherwise it would just be boring, right? So I just watch it with you guys. And he's only got 2 AT planes. So if Mikhail could kill those 2 AT planes and micro his TAEUs and UDs perfectly, and we know that he's only got 4 of those because he upvetted them. But if he micros them perfectly and doesn't lose any, then he might be able to take Anna, because that's the open ground division, right? And then with Anna, he can threaten Ivan, and he can sort of come over here, cut this reinforcement road, try and surround the town. But generally, 56Y's got a huge advantage here. So looking at the deployments, we've got 56Y. He's opening with the classic 4 Spetsnaz Group Stingers to stop enemy helicopters. 119Y can be built in such a way, which he hasn't done actually, where it's just got loads and loads of helicopters, and you use those to at the opener, like 4 good helicopters with Su-25s or whatever. Did they get those? They might do. No, whatever bombers you get, and ASF, and then you do like a funny, and then you throw them off kilter, and that gives you enough time to sort of swap into tanks or whatever. Yeah, so this just stops that, so you can't do it because of the stingers. With the airborne forward deployment, and they come in grenade launcher vehicles, which are very, very useful because they help you fight the enemy infantry that's coming the other way. So 4 of those, and they're going to this. So he's actually, 56Y would be strongest in Dmitrian center and weakest here because of the tanks. So he's opted to just unload here instead of going for it. So that's weird. Spetsnaz Groove Stinger there, and then yeah, he's not going for mid either, so he's going for here, and then he's got 2 on the right, which he's defending with. Okay, then for the left side, he's got a CV, which is actually going into Dmitry, completely unsupported. Now there's a 130mm grenade launcher here, which won't be able to. Well, it depends. If it's in the forest, it won't actually be able to shoot that building, which is hilarious. Conquers to this building, which isn't as powerful as this building because this cuts the reinforcement road and this doesn't. Conquers here. Commander there. So really weird deployment. I mean, this is 85 points. He could just be getting some infantry to get in Dmitry. 1 Afghansky, 1 BMP-2. I think you'd be able to afford that. BMP-2D with the unit is 105 points. Afghansky's 80 with the transport, so that's 185. And these are 85 each. And 2 of those makes 190. So yeah, 1 Afghansky, 1 BMP-2D with the infantry would be a much better shout than 2 Conquers. It's these 2. On the right, yeah, he's defending again, and then he's got a Conquers, T62MD, and a Bellasaur. So I don't really agree with this at all. I think what he should be doing is trying to see. So defend here by all means, right? But at least take these. Because otherwise you're just going to be grinding against 119Y. And you're better against this. You don't really want him to get there. Switch into his opponent's deployment. We've got an SU-27 at the start to stop enemy bombers, I guess. I guess 56Y could open helicopters, and you have to be aware of that. And because you've got no forward deployed AA. Spetsnaz grew on the left, and then 4 Razvedka PMP-2Ds, and it looks like he's going for this, right? Because he's put 1 there, and the rest are going here. To be honest, I don't even know why you'd put 1 there. Bring them all over here, and then attack from this angle, and then the guys that are here can't shoot you. But you could even bring them all the way out here and attack from this angle. That's actually very powerful. But yeah, you would have to leave 1 unit here, but that's the Spetsnaz group. TA-BVK command tank. But yeah, it takes longer because you've got to get over here, and they'll see you doing it, and so that's why people don't like doing it. Like, I don't always follow my own advice either. Then, okay, so it makes sense actually to be attacking here this way because he's going for mid. So with a Spetsnaz OP and a Spetsnaz, as we spoke about in the deck review, which you definitely didn't skip, the Spetsnaz brings the anti-infantry, and the Spetsnaz original pancake brings the maple syrup. And then he's got a BRM-1K here. I guess there was probably nothing else he could buy for 50 points. I mean, it's alright, it can see things. It's good for seeing things for this blob. And I guess he's just put it here so that it could shoot down there. But wouldn't it have been smarter to have this with this blob and have this one on this road and have this looking down there, shooting down there? And on the right, he's got 1 Spetsnaz OP, which is going for the edge of center, but, I mean, there's nobody else going there. And yeah, the way you need to play 119Y is play very narrow. You play very narrow, so the objective should be to take this and just give this up. And if you can get mid, fantastic. You know, like 1 unit here, just in case they don't send anybody, makes a lot of sense. Could even be a BRDM2 Conquers, although I think that's 80 instead of 60. So that's it for that, and now we'll go to the game. Right, so they're off, and it's time to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos at a rate of 1 a week. The videos are usually about a week early, but for like, so Broken Arrow, I just recorded like, it's like 15 Broken Arrow videos, and they're going to get all of those in the next couple of days. And then sometimes, you know, because I record all my stuff on the weekends, usually, and so if I record them all on the weekends, then the video that's coming out next Sunday would be a week, but the video that's coming out tomorrow wouldn't be a week. So you know, it averages out to about a week. Great way to support the channel. I'm an unemployed full-time PhD student. If you buy the Tier 4 channel membership, I will cast your games at a rate of 1 per calendar month. It's a great way to improve, and it can be a great way to show off. Although I think most people use it as a great way to improve. But if you're one of those guys who's like, oh, I beat the rank 1 player and I want everybody to see it. I should note that neither of these players are the rank 1 players, so this isn't that situation. Then you could get the tier 4 channel membership, and 2,000 people would see you win against a rank 1 player, right? And you'd be supporting a good cause, paying my rent basically. Because my funding ran out on the PhD because I took too long. So it is my fault, but please save me from my own mistakes. So this is a very powerful strategy. What you do is so there's nobody here, and you just go idle your plane here for ages, and then they send out a bomber and you just immediately kill them. It only works against divs with no long range AAA. If you're against a div that gets loads of cups, you're gonna get a shot, depending on the map, right? So Conker's trying to stop him here. He's got 3 Razvedka BMP2s. He's keeping him in the transports, which is interesting. He must have played a lot of Broken Arrow. And, so he's sort of wasting here. There are a lot of grenade launchers here. So, yeah, he's picking that off. And I guess his plan is to just make this run out of ammo. Oh, he's probably going to lose this one. Yeah, so that's a shame. That's 90 points down. And, okay, so blue has realised, there's nobody here. So that's good for blue. Red's still attacking here. And this is what I meant about coming over here and attacking this way, because the stuff that's here can't really help. It needs to, especially if you're here. And you're cutting the reinforcement road, this road anyway. But yeah, he's taken this. He can afford to... Basically, the reason I don't like playing 119Y is because you've got to play it slow. You've got to just play it slow, build up your stuff, play it slow, build up your stuff. And that means the enemy's ticking on you all the time, and I absolutely hate that. He needs to move this or he's going to lose. It's dead. Oh, it's lived. It's still dead. It's not reacted yet. Su-27, because it ran out of fuel maybe? Oh no, so you just manually evac it over the Stingers. It does survive. 3 Spetsnaz Gru Stingers there. Which is pretty lucky actually. But yeah, it is a very good fighter, and it is pretty lucky. He needs some supply up here, really. And really, he needs to solidify his front line. No, I wouldn't be buying that. You need more AA before you get the TAU. He needs to solidify his front line, buy the AA. Oh dear, this is not looking great for red. Solidify the front line, right? Stop pushing. Just play it slower. Play for trades, right? This is good. You're going to probably kill that unit because he's just driving into the TAE, who's not killing it. Honor rules. And, yeah, just play it slow. Now he's reversing into the enemy. So Hilo out here will cut this off, but there are the 2 jets coming, which he should know about, really. So this is probably dead. So it's gone from bad to worse for red. Basically, red, late game, good. Early game, okay, but not fantastic, and he's against the metaist meta div, so he needs to be very careful. Su-27 gets hit by the... Like I said, these fighters are really cost effective. Like, for 175 points, you get a lot. Like, a lot. And, yeah, because RNG is an air game. Because... Ooh, you can tell I'm tired. I've got a tournament game today, and it's not going to go well. Feel bad for my teammate. I'm live streaming it, so if you check the channel and go to live, you'll see it. Obviously, by the time you see this, the games will have happened. But the VOD's always there, and it will be fun. Yeah, I'm just making mistakes. I really struggled against like a rank 2000 player, and I lost to like a rank 100 player or something. This was in a good spot, I guess, but not really, because, I mean, he could have moved it up. I guess he probably thought there was somebody here. It's a shame, because he could have killed that. Well, he might... No. Where's this going? Oh, it's been shot at, so he knows about it. The Spetsnaz Gru should win that fight, because these guys are... or Asvals. So, rocket shooting here. And, yeah, it's not looking up for red. I mean, it's kind of weird how blue is the one defending. Like, red just needs to chill out and just stop attacking. Get the AA up. When he figured out that this was empty, actually, he should have sent a Spetsnaz, an AA, another, a Razvedka BMP2, a TO-55 on this side, and just held here. Because now he's lost this. Because if he'd... There was nobody here, right? If he'd held this, then he could have got a CV in, and then he wouldn't be ticking. And if you're not ticking as 119Y... If the enemy isn't ticking against you, you're winning. Because you're buying more and more and more stuff your late game's incredible, and he's not getting an advantage, so you can just chill out and buy stuff. But instead, I mean, he's sending the CV, but I guess he didn't notice because of the building he put it in. It was a really bad building. You want it here or here, really. And so this guy just drove up there, and now, yeah, I mean, he will get in because this doesn't even have the range to stop that. So, not a good building. T80U's out, right? So he's got 4 of these in total. T80U and T80UD, 2 of each. And, yeah, he needs to buy more AA. Before, right, so we've got 2 Strela 10Ms. Love to see a Tunguska. And, yeah, he's pushing again. To survive with those units. And, yeah, so this is happening now. He sees it, but he can't do anything about it. It's just going to drive in and unload. So, big sad. Big sad. And yeah, if you're the 56Y player, you want to be constantly keeping the pressure on the red player. Like, so he's kind of doing a good job of that. And yeah, get up to that +2. And just try and take good trades against the red player. Try and snipe his AA or his tanks. Sadly, depending on who you're rooting for, we know that DkNosferatu here only brought 2 AT planes. 1 card, 2 AT planes. So you see, like, this is... Oh, that's 350, I suppose, for 2 of those. But yeah, it's more. But it's... Because as about the RNG, right? Generally, also, having 2 is just better than 1. And so the cheaper ones are better in that way. So here you go. So now he's doing the blobbing now, which is smart. That's how it's done. So yeah, now he needs to smoke with this one, or just eat it, I guess. And you see that when they blob, sometimes because if there's a tank in the way and it needs to get somewhere, it'll turn and then get shot in the side. So just something to keep in mind. And yeah, so he got that. He's blobbing up to here. Good blobbing here. He's got exceptional optics. He needs a supply. He's got one, I suppose. And look, it literally Conkers does 1 damage to that. Which is the minimum amount. I wonder if because you should see these. You should see this. They should be looking down here now. He's not... Alright, the A is not in position. Oh! Okay. But here comes the AT plane! And it gets the wrong tank! This dies in the meantime because this got there and he didn't notice. So, AT plane should really... Because it came in from the side, because these guys were facing that way, so that was smart. Really, he just bought it from the air tower. He should have brought it around here and then attacked. And he went for the wrong tank. You want to kill these. He's only got 4. And, like, they're going to have maximum 8. So you want to be killing those. And instead he went for the one that he's also got 4 of, but it's just a much less important tank. So the big sad there, depending on who you're rooting for. And, yeah, the fact that these are alive, very good news. But yeah, I like the blob. I think the blobbing makes a lot of sense, right? This is how you do aggression as this div. I would have had a fighter up before moving the blob, really. Anyway, I'm really not sure what's going on here. Just, these guys clearly both looking over here. Like, this, how did that not kill that? How did, he lost a Pulmachiki there as well. Anyway, second AT plane coming out. And this one is also not even attempting to come in from the sides or anything. And it missed twice. I don't know if it would have survived. Oh, but will it die to the metal? So very lucky that that survived, I think. I think that was very lucky, actually. So what he could have done there is driven behind this building instead of down the road. Because if you're behind the building, then they can't shoot you, right? Because they can't see you, so... You got to get pretty close to it, like really close, but it does work. So Reflex should be going in on the BMP-2Ds now, and it actually outranges these. 2625, right? 2800. But they're actually going on the Strelas, which need to get behind the building. I'm not sure why he's running away. He could have won that fight. Just keep shooting him. I guess he wanted his ammo back. What? Okay. These LOS tools are approximations, so sometimes weird stuff happens. Right, so basically, Blue needs to sort this out. 'Cause this isn't good. Because if he's got set up in here, then he can, you know, snipe with T... Basically, the T-62MD's got the max range missile as well. It's got a lot less pen, but this won't one-shot that, because this will only one-shot a 6 armor unit, and this has 14 armor. And this will only do 1 damage to this, because it's only got 18 pen. Basically, the minimum amount of damage an ATGM can deal to a target is 1. So once your armor gets so high, it's still going to be 1. So, okay, so he's bringing out the cluster things, which sort of makes sense, I suppose. And, yeah, this would be a good kill. Not sure... Okay. So, not great micro there from Mikhail Filitov. Like, he just wasn't in a position... Because if he'd had 2 of these out, obviously that would have been 2 of these, unless he got really unlucky. And now, you know, like, this is the more pressing concern, really. The fact that this guy's keeping this in there might just be a bait. Oh, it's probably just a bad idea. Probably should just evac it. Anyway, that rocket helo shouldn't have landed, really. But whatever. Should have just killed this. Oh, I see. I didn't know about this. Or I didn't think about this. So, Blob moves. And look, this guy has so many units here. There's nothing here. When you see your enemy blobbing... Oh, no, that was classed as a side shot. I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess it's side on. If you see your enemy blobbing over here, you attack over here. Just send 1 unit. This. Right? Bam. See how far you get. Oh, there's nothing there, right? Or just send these forwards and just shoot things. Blue needs to try and take this, you know. Like, there's a lot of space on the map just not being taken, but I think Blue's done a good job in seizing this. I wouldn't be buying 2 of these at once. So that's 2 minutes income down the drain, and that means that he's lost a lot of his momentum here. This needs resupplying. And, yeah, these are really good now. They used to have mediocre stealth, but they buffed them to good, simply because Pack didn't have many good stealth ATGM carriers, and now every pack div gets good stealth ATGM carriers because pack isn't allowed to have bad equipment. So yeah, they're really good. And okay, so T-80U's coming out again. So this has the max range missile, right? He needs the Strelas with him, really. And yeah, okay, so there's a helo here. Can't really see this guy. I guess he's about to notice him, though. And why are you smoking? You are a T-80U. He should have kept that going, because he might have hit it and killed it. Whereas if that hits him, it does 1 damage. If you take 2, though, you get stunned and then you start routing, which is really annoying. And yet, now he needs to keep everything moving 24/7. So, here you go. This guy got spotted, and then he routed, into a building and stood still, so he died. And, it's a double AA heal here. And yeah, this is why he shouldn't have bought these. Because now he's lost a lot of momentum. And look, he's getting hammered. Because he just spent 2 minutes income on literally nothing. I mean, he got a supply truck there. Got 2 supply trucks there, I think. He really needs to focus this down. I'm not sure, like, what he's doing. Oh, okay. So that 3 shots that, okay. Anyway, not paying attention here. I think the AA helos will actually do something. So there you go, they can work. But they're not as effective against the tank. But they're going to get that, no problem. Yeah, I really do think he should have just chucked a few Razvedka BMP2s here and just sorted this out so he wasn't being ticked on. Would have been very useful. You could even move the blob, right? You could rotate the blob over. It'll take a while and they'll see him do it, and then you would assume that Blue would attack here, but he's been playing a very sort of defensive game, really. And yeah, that is difficult to hit moving targets with these mortars, especially now that they do that. Look at that. So yeah, this man has been routed now, which is always the risk, right? So, a bit of a missed micro there from Mikhail in that he just didn't see that, so he could have shot it from further away than they were shooting him. And look at that. It looks really cool, but it's very annoying. I mean, what? So you'd expect the MiG-29 to win that fight, but air is RNG. But look how agile it is. It gets the second missiles off. So does this. So actually he's been evac now. Now this has the lay of the land. But this has routed. And here we go. So 2 more 14-man squads here. And yeah. So he's lost 2 Su-27, so I think he's got 4 fighters left. This guy's got about 6 left. I mean, I don't think he's actually lost one. He might have lost 1. So here you go. So this is the other issue with this tank CV thing, which is that this will start happening. So he will see these fire, and then he's got to try and guess which way they're going. And frankly, there's nothing else over here, so he'll be able to tell, oh, need to move. But yeah, he needs more units here, but he just keeps buying for over here. I don't understand it. Oh okay. So here we go. He should now know. Yeah, he's noticed. Oh, yeah, because you see it. And you hear it. Hell's bells. Bon, bon. And okay, so now he's moving back into it. Now he's walking back into it. I mean, I guess it's because these were coming down this road and he wanted to shoot them on the road. If his attack move hadn't seen those vehicles and started shooting them, he would have died. Because he'd be right in the middle of this. Anyway, so he's pushing this because there's nothing here. You'd expect something to be here, but there just isn't, which is fascinating. And now his blob should come over here really and sort this out. Like, you don't have to keep going to the same place. You can come over. You can come over. You know, you can come over here, sort this out. You know, and yeah, the craters are following him around the map. So he's seen this now, although this has now started firing, so he should know. Although it's kind of hard to pay attention to it, which is basically just always got to be careful for it. And he sold the transports. So like this guy, I've only ever seen him play VDV, and I'll be honest, I don't think he's a very good player. It's just he's got a really high rank because he just plays VDV all day, every day, and all the VDV divs are really good. So he's trying to move here. What you can do in this situation is just reverse out the forest, because like that, just immediately because he was here, and then he'd be all right. So that BMP2 went down in mid to the, because yeah, this is, you know, open ground, tank country. The problem he's got is that he's going to get shot from 2 sides, which is why you want to try coming over here, where you know there's nobody here. You can push this. Because, like, where's he going is the question, really. I guess he's coming for this. But, yeah, in that case, you'd want to... he's doing it now. I was going to say, you want the infantry in here to just see if there's anybody in there with all the crazy RPGs they get. Although he hasn't actually brought the 1,025 meter range RPG for 40 points. And it's only got 1 MG though. Shut up. It's a 1,025 meter range RPG. It should not cost 40 points. It should be at least, it should be 45. Anyway, now he's getting shot from 2 sides because of exactly what we just spoke about. And his AA is too far behind. If these were bombers, he'd be dead. But they're not. Okay, this is somewhat unintelligent from his opponent. Just flinging himself over force. I don't know, he probably couldn't see him, to tell you the truth. Anyway, the mortars. Oh no, he's losing all the AA. So this is the issue with getting the blobs separated, I suppose. These are probably all dead now. And once you lose the AA, then the tank should be coming out. The AT should be coming out. He should have 1 left. We know he No, he's lost them both. He lost them both here, didn't he? 1 died here and 1 died here. I'm pretty sure, yeah, because it was like, oh, he missed twice, and then it died. And there was the one here that killed the wrong tank. Yeah, so he's got no AT planes left. This is why you shouldn't skip the deck review. So this is a pretty wild game. I mean, I don't understand why Mikhail Filitov here has made things so difficult for himself, just constantly getting shot in 2 sides. All he had to do was push down here or something. Although, yeah, I suppose the town makes it hard. And I guess maybe you assume there were units in here, but you know, you send this in, oh, there's nobody in there, you just face plant this, you know. But I can sort of get it. But honestly, the better place to attack would be over here to here, because then you can't get shot in the side so much. Because they might have 1 or 2 units here, but getting them here takes ages, and then you roll the sides. But instead, he's gone for this play, and it's worked, right? He's getting the cluster mortars. Good, I want to see them all killed. And there we go. So I'm very happy to see that cluster mortar's dead. And yeah, he's doing pretty well for himself. He's bought some more AA, And at those close ranges, armor, if it's kinetic, if it's kinetic, the closer you are, the more damage it does. So that's why he lost so much health there against T62. But you see, conversely, he's one-shotting the enemy T62s because he's got 21 pen on his gun and he's very, very close. I think that might have been side shot, to tell you the truth. Yeah, it was. Because that was probably facing this or something. So he's got air superiority now, and it's 1,232 points up for Nosferatu here. And he's just not doing anything. There's nobody here. The whole blob is here, right? This is what your recon's for. Send this around here. Does anybody shoot it? No. If they do, you've lost 35 points. If you haven't, you know that you can just walk in here. So, yeah, just playing a fully defensive game. And there you go. So now it's going to be a +1. This is dead. To red. Once this fully caps, it'll be a +1. Once he kills this, it'll be a +2. And, you know, blue is still playing the defensive game. Right, what he needs to figure out now is... Right, how much time is left? 18 times by 60 divided by 1.5 is 720 times by 2 is 1440 points. Okay, so he would actually win. So, but if he can hold on to this for a few more minutes, for example, by smoking and then diving through the smoke to get shot by the enemy, who can only not see him because of his limited vision. I mean, he's not in the smoke there. So there you go, routed in one hit. This is basically on a, it's like an RNG roll, which I think happens at 250. You get an RNG roll on your route, and then another one happens at like 300 or something. I don't know. Or I think if you get to 500, I think it's a guaranteed route. I think. I mean, it's RNG, which it just really shouldn't be. Sorry, I ran out of hard drive space, so the recording stopped. Yeah. Anyway, so he needs to get this +2 as fast as possible, because otherwise he won't win. But I guess, I mean, at this point, if he just keeps the blob going, he could get this as well. So, you know, blue, he got his +2, and then he just played a completely reactive game. He bought those 2 mortars. Did you notice things went bad as soon as he started spending 2 minutes income on mortars, and then all of a sudden he lost the initiative? The fact of the matter is, yeah, 119Y is really good in the open, but if he's going to blob like this, then there's a place where he isn't. And the place is here. He's got 1 unit here. I mean, obviously he's got more now. And blue had so much here that he could have just pushed this with. And that's the difference between, you know, a good player and a really good player. You'll see that people... You know, if I was blobbing against like a good player, they'd push me here basically. They'd secure this, get more. So because of the way he's built his deck, he doesn't get BRDM2 Conquers, right? So he doesn't have like good stealth wheeled ATGMs. He can get the diversity car, which isn't that great really. But yeah, he could have had like 2,800 meters here, and like he had all this, and he just could have put an ATGM in every bush. But instead, he was just like, okay, I'll keep fighting him, I'll keep fighting him, I'll keep fighting him. And he just kept losing. This div plays narrow, right? It plays on a narrow front with this kind of blob thing going on. Because you got to protect your very limited number of tanks. And he only had 4. And he's still got 3. So it's clearly... He's not actually lost 1. And, yeah, so look... There's nobody here, but he's just not. He just wants to fight here, right? If he took this, it would have been fine, but would have been a +1, and then he wouldn't have won, right? And it would have drawn the blob away, which makes, like, at the very least, by doing an attack on a different zone, you draw the blob away, which gives you time to sort this one out again. But yeah, people aren't used to this. They prefer to just like face smack for the whole game. And now he's like, well, maybe if I buy enough T62s, I can beat this blob. No, you can't. Doesn't matter how many you buy. Once you've got this fully operational T8UD blob, all Mikhail really has to do here is just drive forwards, drive backwards, drive. Look at it, it's a massacre. He's brought in the artillery as well. It's good to see. I mean, I would have kept the transport with it. He's brought in the artillery, and yeah. You know, he needs a BRM 1K. There it is. I would honestly always have 2. This only has good optics, right? So he's, I mean, I guess this is recon. And yeah, I mean, it strikes me as like quite a fun division actually. Maybe I should play it, but I would just lose a tank and then I'd start crying and then, you know, be very messy. So typically you don't want the one with less armor to go first. But yeah, whatever. So this is gonna route now. You'll notice that like they're at 3 vet because he brought them at 2 vet. So maybe the veterancy does help, stops you from getting routed and stuff, as you can see. And they recover faster, so I get it, but I'd honestly much rather have 2 of those tanks. It just depends if you think you can keep them alive. This has basically been a perfect game for Mikhail, because he's not lost a single one of his actually important tanks. Where's the 4th one? Did it die when I wasn't looking? Just one that was 4. Oh yes, here. I'm not sure what it's doing there. I want it in the blob, really. And, yeah, there's no zone here, so eventually he should swing this over here. But I guess he just wants to take this. And, yeah, Blue's still playing this reactive game. Like, there's no zone here. You don't have to worry about that. You should have pushed this. Just draw the blob out. Force it to cross land that has loads of ATGMs on it. But he wasn't fast enough to cap center either as well, which gives time to catch up. I don't know if he... Generally when you're playing you don't have time to get the calculator out and start doing the calculations. But yeah, so here's the arty. And there you hit the conquer spots. I'm surprised it took him so long to buy that, actually. It is really useful at hitting ATGM spots, but he's been playing quite a mobile game. And frankly, these, if it's one ATGM, these can just kill that. Just by tanking it with their face and then shooting it. So is he trying to take this now? No, okay. And as for red here, like he's winning, but he needs to he needs more zones, really. I mean, I think he'll win on the skin of his teeth, but all he has to do is just... Yeah, he's got the Conkers here, he's got the Razvedka motorized here, he's got the Razvedka BMP2 here, and the rest of the blob just comes over here now. Though you're going to start getting shot from back here, so it's best to withdraw and then come in this way. So I guess he's dragging across. These aren't really in a position to do anything about it. If they were here, maybe, but... Yeah, if they were here, definitely, but they're not. And the ones that were here died. So you can afford to cross this, I suppose, but... Yeah, and just send the infantry in, right? You got all this stuff. But yeah, a lot of this is to do with the fact that the way Blue built his deck, he only had 2 AT planes, and he just wasted them all immediately. So yeah, he's got lots of infantry here. Yeah, the blob mover. Great way to pad out the blob, these BMP 1Ps, because they've got, you know, ATGMs that one-shot 3 armor vehicles. That was a side shot on a 7 armor vehicle, and it put it down to 1 HP. What? It must have been classed as a rear shot. It was classed as a rear shot, I'm not sure how. But that was a 17... Oh, it might have been from this, actually, in which case it makes a lot more sense. So that's got 21 AP. I thought it was from one of these. But yeah, these are all out of range. Yeah, so it was a side shot with a 21 AP missile, which, as I said, one-shot 6 armor vehicles, and that was a 7 armor vehicle, so it was on 1 HP. Anyway, yeah, just walk in at this point. I mean, but yeah, I mean, if Blue had not wasted his AT planes, you know, but he did, and here we are. And LGBT coming out doesn't. He should have had an ASF behind it. He did, but it's too far away, so he might lose that actually. Yeah, he loses it. So the ASFs really should have been closer to it. Because he only had 1 bomber. That was his 1 bomber. And that would have been useful to keep around. Especially given that it drops the bombs 1 at a time. And I think it carries 2. It might be 3. That might be the 76Y one. I think it's 2. And each bomb is like a 1500 kilo bomb. So I believe they one-shot 3 armor vehicles. And they might not. So now he can take this. And that'll give him a +4. He knows there's no AA here. So now he can send in his bomber. But it's dead, sadly. He's worried about flanks. So that's what these are for. So that's why he doesn't have one with this. Oh no, here it is. Never mind. And yeah, now he can literally just walk in to that zone. And Blue has actually done a decent job of withdrawing in good order from here to here. That's going to be side shot. No. And yeah, he can't see him. He can't see him because he's not got recon, because this is too far away. So that's why that's happening. And yeah, really impressive game from Red. But Blue really didn't help himself. So that's a side shot. Did a lot of damage there. There's the seed, which really should have been, you know, bought before the the LGBT, not after. And then that's the trade-off, right? So do you buy the seed, or do you just buy 2 LGBTs? You know, the seed actually isn't that great, but you get 2 of them in a card, but I don't know. I would buy the seed, and then it wouldn't work, and then the LGBT would die anyway, but I do think that it's probably better to just buy the 2 LGBTs in that situation. Because you... Like, what's the... What... I mean... No, it is better to buy the seed and the LGBT. Obviously, there's no radar AA on the blue side, but when you go into ranked, you don't know who you're going to be against. You know, it might be 5E instead of 56Y. It might be 2nd UK instead of 56Y. It might be 2nd Panzergrenadier instead of 56Y. It's not going to be anything else. There are 41 divisions in this game, but you wouldn't know it. Anyway, he needs to do a bit of waking up here. Getting some supply in. You know, he's got this. He's got stuff. I mean, he's on the clock here. He's got 7 minutes. He's cutting it close. He's got like 4 more back here. I appreciate, right? And this was one of the greatest learnings I ever learned from this guy called Karma. Not call it Karma. There was a guy called Karma who was like the king of Warno for a long time. And what he taught me and Lathans, because back then me and Lathans were like small fry in comparison to Karma. He was like, look, use your micro is a resource. Obviously, he was like Ukrainian. His English wasn't great, so I'm paraphrasing it. Your micro is a resource. Spend it on the expensive units. If you're busy microing a 30-point warrior, there were 30 points back then, if you can imagine that. Back then, when you could afford units, then you're not spending it on you're microing. You know, your Apache. These weren't in the game yet, but it was Apaches. And so yeah, that's very, very smart. So there we go. The smoke trying to come out to save this, but all it's really doing is giving this man cover to get in. And yeah, so he's managed to take this. That's a very important part of taking the zone, really. At the very least, you should like mortar or something. But if you've got somebody here, you can usually take this. And once you've taken this, this is dead, because look at that reinforcement road. You have to manually path them down here and then up here. But if you're on here, you know, they're not getting in this way. So that's very powerful gameplay. And yeah, so it looks like Mikhail's going to get in, and that'll put him on a +6. +8 once it caps, but I was assuming this would go in, but I guess there's not really anywhere to hide it. You can put it behind this one, but there's stuff here now, so no, you can't. And yeah, it's not looking fantastic for Nosferatu. It's desperately hanging on here. But yeah, it's not enough really. Big sad. Yeah, big sad. What can I say? I do like seeing 56Y players get beaten though, so actually it's big happy, whatever. Anyway, I'm surprised he's not resigning here. This game is very much over. Just watching the BMP ones clean. We can get some cinematic shots. Wow, look how nice it looks. The air circling over. It is a really nice looking game, and it performs very well in terms of like you get high FPS. That's one thing it's definitely got over Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow does not run well, and you get way fewer units. There you go. There's the smoke to get the Belazor in, but the motor strokey spam is probably going to be sufficient to sort that out. And yeah, my advice to Nosferatu would be play wide, dude. If you are against 119Y and he's blobbing over here, attack over here. Don't just let him do it. So there you go, we got Prigogine here pointing out the window at the missile. And he's rank 231 with 27 games as packed. I do wonder if they've all been 119Y since the reset. 1,400 games total. DkNosferatu, rank 329. Last time I faced him, he was rank 100. So I'm not sure, maybe he stopped playing VDV divs or something. Yeah, so 329 versus 231, so pretty even game. And whoa, look at that. Look at that. And he didn't lose a single one. And that's credit to his micro, but also the blue player shouldn't have wasted. Only bringing two AT planes is a mistake. But also he wasted them, and he sent them both out one at a time. He didn't pick his moment, basically. Should have sent them both out at once with a fighter in front, and the fighter soaks up the AA. And you put them both on one tier EUD, and yeah, they both should make it out. But yeah, it was a really interesting game. I enjoyed it. Do let me know what you think. GG.